betrayal, a shocking return, and a $1 million sale that no one saw coming. The Roloff family story has always been filled with twists, but this one might just be the most explosive yet. At the center of the storm is Matt Roloff, the man who built Roloff Farms into an empire and became a household name through TLC's Little People, Big World. For years, viewers have watched his ups and downs, his struggles and triumphs, and of course, his complicated love life. After his divorce from Amy Roloff, fans saw him move on with Caryn Chandler, a relationship that has stirred its fair share of controversy. But just when it seemed like things were finally settling down, Caryn's past has come back into the spotlight. Her ex-husband has resurfaced, sending shockwaves through both fans and the Roloff family itself. The timing couldn't be more dramatic, with Matt making headlines for a jaw-dropping real estate move, selling his house for a staggering $1 million. This is more than just a story about property and past relationships. It's about loyalty, family tensions, and the kind of betrayal that can shatter trust forever. What does Caryn's ex-husband's return mean for her future with Matt? How is the Roloff family reacting behind the scenes? And why did Matt really decide to part ways with his iconic property? Buckle up, because over the next hour, we're diving deep into the betrayals, the shocking comeback, and the $1 million decision that could change everything for the Rolloffs. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. When we talk about Caryn Chandler, most fans immediately think of her long-standing role in Matt Roloff's life, both personally and professionally. But before Caryn became a key figure on Little People, Big World, she had an entire chapter of her life that often gets overlooked: her first marriage. Caryn was once married to Joseph Chandler, a man largely out of the spotlight but whose name has recently resurfaced in shocking ways. Their relationship, by most accounts, was fairly private. Together, they shared a family life in Oregon before eventually parting ways. While Caryn has rarely spoken publicly about this part of her past, fans who have dug into her history say the marriage ended quietly, with little drama spilling into the public eye. For years, Joseph Chandler remained just that, a closed chapter, a figure from Caryn's earlier life. But now, out of nowhere, Caryn's ex-husband is back in the conversation. His sudden reappearance has sparked questions, theories, and plenty of speculation online. Why now? Why, after all these years, is Caryn's past being brought into the spotlight at the very same time that her future with Matt Roloff seems so secure? Some fans think it's nothing more than coincidence. After all, Caryn has been a public figure for years, and the Rolloffs themselves are constantly making headlines. Perhaps Joseph simply re-entered the picture in some benign way, through family ties, mutual friends, or even a new connection with the children he shares with Caryn. But for others, this feels far too sudden and far too suspicious. Theories are flying on social media that Joseph's return could spell trouble for Caryn and Matt's relationship. Could unresolved issues from her first marriage be resurfacing? Could financial or legal matters be involved, especially now that the Roloff family farm and related real estate dealings are making headlines again? Fans are also pointing out the timing. Caryn and Matt are on the brink of major life changes, from selling property to planning for the next chapter of their relationship. A reemergence of Caryn's ex at this moment raises eyebrows. Is he back to stir up old wounds? To make claims? Or is this simply the universe throwing an unexpected twist into the ongoing Roloff family saga? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: Caryn's ex-husband's name has reappeared in the public eye, and it has fans buzzing. Many are worried about what this means for her future with Matt, while others believe the couple is strong enough to weather any storm from the past. The word betrayal has been hanging heavy over this entire story, and fans are asking whether both Caryn and Matt are now facing questions of loyalty, just in very different ways. For Caryn, the unexpected return of her ex-husband has stirred up deep speculation. Some viewers wonder whether this could shake the trust she and Matt have built over the years. Was she truly finished with her past, or could her ex's reappearance reignite old emotions and complicate her future with Matt? While Caryn hasn't publicly addressed the situation head-on, the silence itself has been enough to fuel doubts. In a family already used to living under the microscope, her past suddenly feels like a shadow creeping back in at the worst possible moment. Then there's Matt, whose decision to sell his home for $1 million has left his children divided. For many, it feels like a betrayal of the Roloff family's legacy. Fans recall how often Zach, Jeremy, and even Molly voiced their hopes of keeping the property within the family for the next generation. Instead, Matt's sale to an outsider looks, in their eyes, like closing the door on a dream they once believed in. Was this purely a financial move, or does it reflect Matt's ongoing struggle to balance his own needs against the expectations of his children? The fallout has been emotional. Zach and Tori, who already had strained relations with Matt and Caryn, are said to be heartbroken that their kids won't have the chance to grow up with the same family connection to the farm. Jeremy, who once showed interest in buying part of the land, has remained quieter, but fans believe the bitterness runs deep. Amy, meanwhile, has expressed sadness in subtle ways, hinting that even though she's moved on with Chris, seeing the family home sold outside the Roloff circle still feels like the end of something bigger than just property. The media, of course, has seized on the narrative of betrayal. Headlines about Caryn's ex-husband, Matt's house sale, and family fallout have spread quickly. But when the Roloffs speak publicly, their words are more measured. Matt insists the sale was about practical realities and his desire for a simpler life. Caryn presents a picture of calm, enjoying her relationship despite the gossip. And Amy, always careful with her words, frames her disappointment more as nostalgia than anger. Still, the gap between public statements and private feelings is hard to ignore. Fans who followed this family for nearly 2 decades believe there's far more bubbling beneath the surface than what's being shared online. The sense of betrayal, whether from an old relationship returning or from a father making a choice his kids didn't want, is a wound that may take years to heal, if it heals at all. As we come to the end of this deep dive, it's impossible to ignore just how much the past and present seem to be colliding for Caryn, Matt, and the entire Roloff family. Caryn's ex-husband suddenly reappearing isn't just a personal detail. It has stirred up questions about her current relationship, her past choices, and whether her connection with Matt will remain as strong under public scrutiny. At the same time, Matt's million-dollar house sale stands as more than just a business transaction. For many fans, it feels like a symbolic turning point, a moment that marks the end of one era for the Rolloffs and the start of something new, though not without tension and division. The sale underscores the ongoing conflicts within the family, particularly around the farm and legacy. When you combine these storylines, the resurfacing of old relationships, the business decisions with emotional weight, and the shifting family dynamics, it becomes clear that the Rolloffs are standing at yet another crossroads. What comes next for little people, big world? Will the family story continue to play out in front of cameras, or are we watching the beginning of a very different chapter, one perhaps away from the public eye? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The Rolloffs have never shied away from change, even when it comes with heartbreak and controversy. And that's why fans continue to watch, debate, and speculate with every twist in their journey. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. Big betrayal, shocking revelations, and $1 million shakeup. The Roloff family saga just took a wild turn. Caryn Chandler's past has suddenly come crashing back into the spotlight as her ex-husband makes an unexpected return right when Matt Roloff stirs headlines with the sale of one of his properties for a jaw-dropping $1 million. Fans are buzzing with questions. What does this mean for Caryn and Matt's relationship? Was this timing pure coincidence, or is there more drama lurking behind the scenes? And why did Matt choose to sell now, at such a pivotal point in the family story? For nearly 2 decades, viewers have watched the Rolloffs navigate love, heartbreak, and major life changes on Little People, Big World. But this twist feels different. It's personal, it's dramatic, and it could mark a turning point for the future of the Rolloff legacy. So buckle up, because over the next hour, we're diving deep into the betrayal, the tension, and the fallout of Caryn's past colliding with her present, and how Matt's $1 million decision could shake the very foundation of the Roloff family dynasty. Caryn's past has rarely been discussed openly, especially in comparison to the very public lives of Matt and Amy Roloff. Unlike Amy's remarriage to Chris Merrick or Matt's ongoing role as the head of Roloff Farms, Caryn's history has been more private, shielded from the intense scrutiny that comes with reality TV fame. But the resurfacing of her ex-husband has pulled that history back into the conversation, leaving fans digging for answers. Some longtime followers of Little People, Big World recall that Caryn's divorce was one of the quieter storylines, barely mentioned on the show. At the time, it seemed like a clean break, with Caryn moving forward quickly into a relationship with Matt. But now, with her ex-husband suddenly back in the picture, questions about what really happened during that marriage are once again bubbling up. Was it as simple and straightforward as it appeared? Or are there hidden tensions that could complicate Caryn's present? The timing of his return feels especially suspicious to fans, given the Roloffs' ongoing drama over the farm, Matt's health struggles, and the family's increasingly divided dynamics. Some are wondering if Caryn's ex-husband is returning purely coincidentally, or if his presence could somehow be connected to the mounting pressures Matt and Caryn already face. On social media, speculation has run rampant. Why would he come back now, of all times? It doesn't feel random. If Caryn's ex is back in her life, I can't imagine Matt being okay with that. This family already has enough drama without exes showing up. It's not just about Caryn's personal life. This revelation could have ripple effects across the Roloff family. Caryn has often been portrayed as a stabilizing presence for Matt, especially as he's dealt with ongoing disagreements with Zach and Jeremy over the future of Rolloff Farms. If her past suddenly becomes a source of tension, it could weaken that support system, leaving Matt even more vulnerable in his family disputes. At the same time, some fans are pointing out that Caryn has always been fiercely independent. They argue that the return of her ex-husband doesn't necessarily mean old feelings will resurface, but it does mean that old wounds may need to be confronted. For Caryn, this could be a test of how much she has truly moved on, not just from her first marriage, but from the years of controversy that came with dating Matt while the Roloff family was still reeling from divorce.